Roberto in second place. And in fact, let me just see whether Hislop has not lost the lead to Roberto. Has indeed. I was going on eloquently about Roberto's performance, and he sneaked back in front of the Scotsman. Well, Peter Roberto, the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's back in front. The West German on the Heingericke Yamaha leads the race from Steve Hislop. Big, tall character, well over 6 foot tall, is Roberto. Has problems getting those long legs and long arms tucked in round the Melco hairpin. It really is a difficult corner. See the back end of Hislop's bike just twitch as he put on the brakes. And here's this battle now. It's McCallan, Robert Dunlop and David Leach. Kurt Hall being dropped off. Oops, David. Or Kurt, rather. That was a bit of a nasty moment round the hairpin. The rest of the field strung out behind. But this, Trevor Nation, again, having problems with the brakes going into Melco hairpin. Trevor Nation still trying to make up ground. Roberto there, number 1. He leads. Behind him, number 8, Steve Hislop. They're coming round to complete lap 5, the 1/3 distance of this first leg of the 24th Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. And, well, you'd be a brave man to put your money on just one of these characters. There's the clock just ticking away. And what sort of lap time are we in for? Well, a quick one, 2:39.87, a little bit slower than the last lap, but still by no means a slow lap. Roberto leading from Hislop. Look at this battle behind, though, a three-way scrap. Well, we go back down to the people a little bit further down the leaderboard. Number 5, Donald Jacks going through. He's 7th at the moment. There's number 5, Trevor Nation. He's now ahead of Nick Jeffries, so he's going to move up a place or two. And behind, further back, Roger Bennett, number 19, the Scotsman. He went well in practice, took a bit of a tumble at Melco hairpin, and that put him off a bit. Back with the leaders. Roberto, number 1, and back on the start line. The slower men still go through. Let's give you a rundown at the end of lap 5. Roberto leads from Hislop. Then it's Dunlop, McCallan and Leach together, half a second apart. Donald Jacks is up into 6th, as Kurt Hall is 6th. Donald Jacks up into 7th place. That really is a splendid ride from Donald Jacks. Tony Hyler is 8th, Joey Dunlop is 9th, Mark Farmer 10th, Stephen Cull 11th, and Trevor Nation moves up yet another place into 12th spot, trying to make up for the problems. The MST Sports Timing tells us the gap just over half a second between Roberto and Hislop. That was over the start and finish line, of course. I think at any part around the circuit it can stretch from probably half a second to a gnat's thingy, I would say. And Robert Dunlop goes up into 3rd place, and David Leach is 4th, and pushing Philip McCallan back into 5th place. So the battle there continues to rage. Now, can Robert Dunlop, there's the gap, 6.8 seconds, just as I was about to inquire what the gap is. MST come up with the answer. Splendid stuff. And the gap then between Robert Dunlop, number 4, in 3rd place, and the race, and the second man, Steve Hislop, 6.8 seconds, so about 7 seconds. And there is number 7, Dave Leach, and he's looking for a way through. He'll level the Mitsui Yamaha with the Norton, but the Norton, it's the rotary engine, of course, on this black JPS Norton, and really, well, it's something of a controversial thing, because many engineers, well, most engineers can't agree on how you should measure the capacity of a rotary engine. But they let it run in this race, and let it run in other races in the UK, and the Norton is quick. 6 laps gone then. Roberto still leads from Hislop. Absolutely nothing the gap out in front. The fastest lap, though, on that lap was to Hislop. Roberto's lap, 2:39.06, and here's this scrap. Well, really is good, and look at McCallan. Philip McCallan, he's not going to be out of it by any manner of means. It may be good up front, but it's a superb scrap for 3rd, 4th and 5th. And Dave Leach trying desperately to find a way through. Dave Leach from Halifax in Yorkshire, 27 years of age, went to live in Northern Ireland for a year, loves the country, loves the people, has raced an awful lot in Northern Ireland. As I said, 40 victories to his credit, and 16 lap record. So number 7, Dave Leach, no slouch. 6 laps have been completed. A rundown there for you in the Lockhart Enterprise sponsored Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix. Roberto Hislop, Dunlop, Leach, McCallan, Kurt Hall still in 6th place, but I can tell you that Donald Jacks is definitely closing on him, and looks like we're going to be having an all-American battle for 6th and 7th places. And Steve Hislop right on the rear tire, and Dave Leach has gone through. Dave Leach goes up into 3rd place, number 7, number 4, Robert Dunlop. Breathing down his neck is the Honda Britain machine of Philip McCallan. And Robert Dunlop, he's gone so well this year on both the 125 and the big bike. I don't suppose he's written off his chances yet of taking a place on the podium. Down into Malco Hairpin they go, and they are line abreast. A blanket could definitely cover this little bunch. Oh, and here goes Hislop again, and Roberto goes round the outside. Hislop has the better line, but Roberto chops across in front of him. Peter Roberto, and Peter Roberto waves Steve Hislop. Well, he waves him past, I think. That really was superb. He's a very fine man, is Peter Roberto, and I suspect he's enjoying this scrap. And I think he's suggesting that maybe Mr. Hislop's bike is quicker, and that they don't want to be caught by the rest. I'm sure his ambit signals going out. The gap at the moment about just over 7 seconds between the leaders, but they can see them. The 3rd, 4th and 5th battle can definitely see the leaders. You can see them there behind, and once you can see the man in front, they are slowing. Look, 2:40.78 the lap for Steve Hislop, and the 3 men behind can see them, and they are closing. It's 5.5 seconds behind the leader, and Robert Dunlop goes back into 3rd place. Leach pushed back into 4th spot. The North quicker than the Yamaha, and the Honda sits there in 5th spot. Well, 2 great battles going on, and Roberto, very wise. He's a good campaigner, and there is Steve Call, who qualified 4th fastest. He was down in 14th place, and he's come in. There's the mechanic Graham Young, the Honda Britain team manager. Like everybody on this tour, having a wonderful time here in Macau. It's a splendid place to visit, a wonderful place to race, and they are queuing up and begging to come and ride in Macau. Out in front, Steve Hislop, Peter Roberto enjoy themselves, but they know they are being caught, and caught at quite a quick rate, and we could end up with quite the remarkable prospect of a 5-rider scrap for the lead. There's number 8, there's number 1, they're leading 1st and 2nd. Interview, there they come, and they are closing, and it's Dunlop in 3rd place, Leach number 7 in 4th place, number 9, Philip McCallan in 5th spot, and Leach again tries to find a way round. Well, there are some riders who won't ride unless they've got 30-foot runoffs both sides of the track, lots of straw bales, gravel patches to go into, and others, like a lot of these men here, who can't actually get fired up until they've got brick walls and lamp posts and all sorts of things to make them go quick. And we've got 3 men there in the picture who qualify for that description. The fastest lap at the moment to Dave Leach, 2:38.62, or the lap for him. I think there was a slightly quicker one, if my memory serves me, but the quick lap there. No, it is the fastest lap. It is the fastest lap confirmation. Oh, dear, dear, dear. And that really was very close indeed. Robert Dunlop using all his track craft and guile to keep Dave Leach away, but almost just clipping the front wheel of the battle behind. And look at this, Steve Hislop just beginning to stretch the advantage. We saw Roberto wave Steve Hislop through. Now, whether that's because he's got a problem or whether it was because he wanted them to quicken the pace, you can see they're closing. 7 laps have gone, 8 laps have gone now. We're past the halfway stage. The gap between the race leader Hislop and Roberto, 0.74 of a second. Robert Dunlop, oh, the gap now has stretched between the race leader Hislop and Dunlop, so although they can see them, they've pulled away, and hard on the brakes then, flicking the bike hard right to go into